All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to season 1, episode 2 of Keys Code Redefining Gender Roles. It is hot, y'all. It is so hot. Wanted this hot weather. Now we got it. I don't know how to act with it. Slightly driving me crazy. Like I said, we are back with season 1, episode 2. So, y'all. Back again with co-host Kaya Amari and the one and only
Mr. Quick, Mr. JOB216.
You know.
You know.
You know. All right, y'all. Let's get into this topic. Redefining gender roles. What do gender roles mean to us? And I want y'all to chime in if y'all got anything y'all want to say. The comments should be on. We're going to be checking in with the comments and kind of, bouncing back. So let's go. Let's go. I want to start. Who going to start? Let's start with leading in love. Like, who leads in love? You think both people lead in love? Okay, so
You have to define what you mean when you say lead in love.
who's
That's pretty broad.
expected to pay? Like, we talking about gender roles. So in love, who leads? Like, is it the man that's supposed to pursue? Like, is it the woman who's supposed to pursue? I did a poll on Instagram and I asked, should men do all of the initiating? The majority
No.
said no.
Hell
I had a
no.
few that said it depends, but the majority said no. And you're saying no. So why do you say no?
I say no because a wise person told me that you should start how you gonna finish.
Okay.
And if you cannot keep up paying for everything and leading in everything, then don't start.
Very wise words. But do you think that a man should pursue?
I think that a man should pursue, but a woman should show that she's interested.
I agree. What you think? Do you think a man should pursue a woman, or do you think women should pursue men, or it just don't matter?
I wouldn't say it don't matter. I don't know. I would say both. You know, should both get into an equal, whatever. It shouldn't be one sided. And let the best one in the whole relationship.
So I think that traditionally men pursue women, and I think it's this generation that's kind of destroying that, because that goes so far into like just starting off with pursuing, and then it leads up, like you said, start how you gonna finish. So if I pursue you, I mean, is that demasculating? Like, do you feel like a man when a woman pursues you? And like going into a relationship that way is kind of like she kind of takes the lead role.
It all depends on what she's doing. A woman that's being feminine and pursuing a man, just to me, makes a man feel wanted, makes a man feel loved. I'm gonna do more for a woman that shows me that she cares for me than a woman who just waits for me to do something for her.
But let's talk about getting into it. You don't know her, she don't know you. We talk about straight pursuing. You see somebody and she walk up on you like, "What's up? What's up with you? Let me get your number," type stuff.
Loving that.
With that, so
Loving that.
because for me that turns into other things like going down the line. And one of the biggest controversial things is women who propose. That's what that says to me. When I hear women pursuing men, it just automatically take my brain to women that propose to men. Like, that is, to me, the most disrespectful shit ever. Would you want your woman to propose to you?
Would I want to? As a man, I would want to propose to my woman. If the woman takes it upon herself to do it, I'm not going to look at her as less of a person.
Not a person, but that taps into what you just said. Soft and feminine. Soft and feminine is not going get down on one knee and saying, "Will you marry me?" You have to feel like a bitch if a woman got down and be like, "Will you marry me?" You are a bitch. Like, what do you say? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Like,
No, because she don't get on her knees and say that.
even if she don't get on her knees, what if she just proposed? Like, if you was proposing, you had this whole thing set up and you wanted to propose, and she beat you to the punch. You gonna be like, shit, what's the hard? That's cool. She loved me.
She loved me. She loved her to me.
Because she proposed. That is, to me, is the biggest no. What you think? So in your day and age, like if you was in love with a man, a dude, so much, like, oh, I want him, I love him, I love him, and then would you propose to him?
No, I don't want nothing that bad that I'm going with somebody else.
And it's like, it's sad to say that we are conditioned to think that men are, to me, it's like men supposed to be chasers, like hunters. So pursuing aligns in my head with hunting and chasing. And it's like not chasing in a sense of playing cat and mouse and hard to get, not that, but like taking the lead and just saying, yeah, I want you and you gonna be mine. I don't, maybe I'm just really traditional. What do y'all think? Like, tap in. Because for me, it's a no. I don't think I've ever pursued a man. Flirting, yes. Getting his attention, yes. But to actually walk up on the dude like, oh, I think you hot. Like, what's up? It's a no. It's a no for me all day long. It's a no. So to me, it's like, okay. So let me ask you this: is leading in love and relationships, is it a gender role or is it an energy? It's the energy.
I agree.
It's the energy.
Survive.
I think so too. I think once we get together, once you actually and we together, we rocking, then at that point it's like, all right, I can take the lead sometimes, depending on what it is. But yeah, I can tap into that and we can kind of bounce off of each other. But the actual initial like, let me get with you, nah.
Hey, there's some man, depending who you are, just say LeBron James because he married. But men of that stature, do you think women don't approach them? Rich men.
But it's
ballers.
a difference in
Do
that.
you think women don't approach them?
I don't think women approach them with genuine intention. No. I think women approach them with the intent to be taken care of. That's strategy right there. That ain't, oh, I love him, oh, he found, oh, let me approach him. It's, oh, that nigga got a bag and I want it. I'm gonna be taken care of. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get some of that.
Yep.
Proposal is for the man. Yes, all day long. It's for the man.
Proposals are for the man. That's what
Would
we
you
were
say
taught.
yes?
That's what we were taught.
But would you say yes if a woman proposed to you?
That's like saying, should a woman feed the man?
What?
Should the woman cook dinner for the man?
You trying it? Should the woman cook?
We were taught that the woman cooks. We were taught that.
Okay, so now so that do tap into like traditional roles. So let's go into that. So parenting and role reversals, being taught at a young age what roles gender should play. So you're saying as a kid, you were taught that women should cook and men should what?
Get the groceries.
Get the groceries.
Yeah. Man get the food, woman cook the food.
Okay, so what about when the woman makes more than a man? Who get the groceries then, and then who cook them? Because what is happening is the roles are changing. We in a role reversal stage of life where back then, yeah, you and I were raised in an era where men were taught to provide, protect, and women were taught to be nurturers, housewives of that sort. But now women making more money than men, so it's like the roles are reversed, and you got more stay-at-home dads. Mm-hmm. So do that make you less of a man?
I don't think you have more stay-at-home dads, but
than before. Now dads get paternity leave at work.
Okay.
After she have a baby, he get a paternity leave, so he can stay home with his baby.
As he should.
But we were taught that men didn't do that. We were taught that women were the nurturers. Women were the ones to stay home with their kids, not men. You just said it.
I can't think back. I think men did get some time when they had a newborn baby. But I get the point that you're trying to make.
So, okay, so let me ask this. As a man, should you man get another job so she can stay home?
Yeah. And when she at home, she gonna make sure it's dinner when he get home from off that second job.
Okay, so let's ask this. If she is the one who is making the most money, does the roles change? Because I was kind of taught, you pay the cost to be the boss. So it was always kind of like big bank take little bank. So if who got the biggest bank, do that hold more power, or is it still I am the man, I am because even now it's like providers don't mean shit because men ain't providing.
I'm not gonna say who agrees with that. That's terrible.
It's a lot of men that is being taken care of.
Roles should never change.
Somewhere in the world, all around, it got fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't lean on love more than they respect money. Just because a woman makes more money, how we love each other in our household shouldn't be the factor.
So, is it equal then?
So, if you make more money than a man, your money should be one as one.
Okay, so here.
Because that's what the women say.
So I don't want to go too far into
that
because
more money, the woman say it's our money. When the woman make more money, she say it's her money.
But that's because men are typically taking care of women, and then that's where that whole you taking care of her, you giving her what she wants, and I'm just being like I'm playing devil advocate because I take care of me. So let's not mistake what I'm saying. I'm just trying to gain clarity. When you are being taught as a little boy, as a boy, what did you grow up believing that your role as a man should be, should look like?
Man, we take out the trash, but we don't clean the bathrooms.
So what if there's no woman in the house? Do the bathroom get cleaned then?
You move the goalposts, but of course, if there's nobody there, you do everything.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like all of these roles are subjected to change under
During
the circumstances. So the gender roles are only sufficient under certain circumstances.
Correct.
So in a household with you and your wife, you don't clean no bathroom.
Yeah.
Come on now, which one is it? You just said.
Me personally, I'm gonna clean the bathroom sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's the trash gotta get taken out or the bathroom gotta get cleaned, I'm gonna take the trash out.
I can agree to that. Because I don't want to take out no trash if I was in the house with no man. And it's crazy because that is like, even now in 2025, we raising our kids to kind of believe the same thing. She, in a house where it was just us, yeah, we had to do everything. When you were, it cost to be boss, so I'm the boss in my house. But it's like, as soon as her brother came, first thing she said was, I ain't taking out no trash. I ain't taking out no trash. That shit is over with.
That sounds like right to me.
And it's like, do you argue with that or do you just kind of let it be what it is? Like, she ain't taking out no trash because, why? Because she a girl? But she been taking out the trash.
She got it right. But in turn, are you washing the dishes?
She always
like
been
him.
washing the dishes.
But
though.
that's like him saying, I ain't washing no dishes. I gotta take out the trash. My little sister here.
What you think? Because when they was little, they had to share roles. But now, like, getting into adulthood is kind of like conditioned to be like, oh, I ain't doing that part because no, or I ain't doing that part because you can do it. So what's your take? What made you feel like, oh, he here? I ain't taking out no trash.
What are you? No, I'm not gonna say weird. If you're here, you're in a house full of females. Why would you not want to take out the trash? Or why would you want to depend on a bunch of females to take out the trash when you're here? Watching the females take out the trash when that's something you're supposed to be doing.
But why is it that what he's supposed to do? Is it because it's like a masculine energy type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say love said men always is the king. I know that's right. That's gonna forever be her stance. And
Kings.
she's standing on that. What about, it seems like in the household though, the pressure is on the mother to do everything though, else.
Right. What?
Like just in everything to make sure stuff gets done. It's like you as the mother, you become the enforcer.
Mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
Lies.
Uh-huh.
Lies.
Because dads only want to enforce stuff with their sons.
Lies.
They don't want to enforce stuff with their daughters because they be soft when it comes to their daughters.
More women make the dads be the enforcer than women have to be the enforcer.
I do not believe that.
That should be a law.
That
How
is
many
something
women
that's a scare
make
tactic.
Yeah, I'm gonna call your daddy.
But that's a
I'ma
scare
call your
tactic.
daddy.
And then the daddy ain't gonna do nothing.
but they still make kids look like
because it's like we are
Oh.
conditioning them to believe that the man, because the man is, like she said, supposed to be king. So yes, he should be the at the head and the last decision or the last word. That's how it should be. But it's like, so yeah, it's a scare tactic because the masculinity of a man, the deep voice, all of that is supposed to be scary. But you got some dudes now that be straight suckers and they don't have no masculinity in their bodies at all. You got women playing men roles better than men. Just
I don't
saying.
know about
Just
that.
saying. I can see.
Kids do chores, especially if it's a teenage boy. The girls do dishes and cook, etc. We have to teach our daughters how to be a good wife and teach our sons how to be a great man.
Read it out loud. Read it again for the people who can hear. We have to condition our kids to be great men and great women. But I still feel like moms take on the majority of stuff. Okay, so maybe we may not take it on. Okay, let's say you say that men are considered the enforcers. I don't believe that. I think
They are.
women do more butt whooping than men. I do that.
Nah, negative.
Men have this, like with their daughters. It's kind of like it's a disappointment thing, and disappointment for a girl don't want to disappoint her daddy. So it's not an enforcement. That's a bond, because without that bond, you don't have that intimidation factor.
So you said earlier, what are some of the things that you were taught, or me, what I was taught? And one of those things were not to hit women.
Women or daughters.
That
or
goes along
kids.
with daughters.
So
So
you
what-
were not a discipline. So you were not a physical disciplinary of your daughter.
Not much. My daughters only got maybe tapped on the hand. I didn't really give them what I gave my boys, because boys are bigger, stronger, faster.
I agree with that. Because I was the same way. Like, don't touch my daughters, especially. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a single parent, so I was always the parent who felt like, don't touch my kids at all, because I got this. Like, I whoop ass when I need to whoop ass. I'll punish when I need to punish. Don't touch my kids, because I got it. Especially if you were not somebody that was very active in their life. So it was like, it's enough for me. But that was just I wasn't big on hitting either. Like, I mean, I
So-
did every now and then, but it wasn't really a thing for me.
Do
And my
you
kids
think,
weren't bad.
do you think most mothers are just loud?
Yes. Like, yes.
Do your mother do more yelling than enforcing?
Yes. Initially. Will your mother put her hands on the kid?
I don't know about that.
Now. I'm older now though. And my kids are older now. So if I put my hands on my kids now, I'm beating their ass. Like, I'm beating you up. It's not a whooping when you have teenage kids, especially daughters.
But you just don't yell loud.
So I and probably always have been more of a yeller. Like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass. But my tone always tells when she done yelling. She ain't all right. I'm playing with her, she been yelling. But it's a tone that gives you the all right, let me go and do what she said, because she ain't playing no more. And I think that's everybody. You as a kid, you learn which buttons to push on your parents. You learn they what set them off and what kind of how to tiptoe around certain things when it comes to your parents. When I was a kid, man, I swear it was like when my father he was a military man. Like he was strict, everybody respected him. But with me, it was like everybody was just like, you get everything you want from him. But it was also times where it was like I knew not to play with him either. But I knew when I wanted to do something or when I wanted something from him, I knew to wait until right after he fell asleep. And as soon as he fell asleep, I was never a sneaker. I told you I respected him and I was afraid of him. So I was never that kid. But I knew that if when I wanted something, if as soon as he fell asleep, a little bit into it, I asked him and he gonna give me that sleep gift. And then he ain't gonna remember. And then when he think I'm about to get in trouble, I hit him with, oh no, I asked you. I asked you right before you fell asleep. So he got to saying, he started telling me like, stop asking me for shit when I'm asleep. But as a kid, I knew how to kind of finesse a situation to go my way. Like you learn that as a kid, or do you not? Do you learn how to finesse?
Do you finesse your mother?
Do you finesse your mother? Or do you finesse your auntie?
I don't finesse my auntie. She just spoiled. Like, I don't know.
Oh. So you don't think that the mother have more like responsibility in the household?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I mean, okay, pay the bills and make sure nothing bad happens.
So it's maybe it's the difference too in obviously in single households and single parent households and dual parent households. But I still feel like emotional labor falls on the mothers. Y'all don't.
I will say, as a young man, when I ran the streets, that I can agree that it was more single mothers at home taking care of the kids, feeding the kids in that respect. As a grown man, not in the streets and at home with the kids, it's the same shit.
Okay, so let's talk about the emotional labor of being a mother versus being a father, because I feel like in a household, the mom is kind of forced to take on the emotional responsibility of everything that's going on in the house, especially like managing how people feel, especially the kids. Like feelings become a mom thing, and making sure that everybody's in tune and productive and thriving in a as close as to healthy way possible. And that comes down to like doctor's appointments and health, Lord forbid, counseling, and even birthdays. Even birthdays. Most men are not birthday people, even when it's their own kid. Excuse me. It's the bare minimum when it comes to those type of things. You're not gonna go all out for no kid birthday party unless it's a milestone birthday. So are you a mother is typically going to go the extra mile. They crafting, they planning, they doing all of the things. And most of the time the dads are going to do what?
Pay for it.
But it still makes emotional. The emotion is still the labor of the mom. All you're doing is paying for it.
No. He invested because he allows the woman.
Say our role accepted. Woman up, don't get weak and emotional. Don't accept it.
This is our role until when though? This is our role, and we are this strong, especially this. See, I was trying to go in this specific order, but that is about to tie me right into the whole stigma of being I ain't even gonna say a strong black woman because it goes beyond that. A strong woman, period. Like you always have your cape on. At what point do you get to take your cape off? You cannot tell me that, and I've experienced it myself with my kids. My kid can be sitting in a room with me and her dad, and she is going to ask me for everything that she is desiring. She will not ask her dad, and that to me is like, why?
Till the end, will always be mom. So your role never.
It never. It's like, at what point though do we get to kind of decompress? Because it gets to a point of being overwhelmed, and you be overwhelmed. Half the time, you got to be overwhelmed even in silence. Like you can be grieving, you can be going through everything. You still gotta be strong. You gotta be strong for your man. You gotta be strong for your kids. You gotta be strong for yourself. You never get a chance to just fall apart.
That goes both ways. You can't say that men don't go. Men don't have to be strong for their women. Men gotta be strong for their kids. Men gotta be the head of the household. Men gotta go through them.
But are they actually emotionally checking in? Like you, I'm listening to you, and I promise you, your stance on things is very different from the average man that I've encountered. Like you're not, you don't come off like a lot of other guys come off. So you do have some men, and I'm not trying to bash men at all. But what I'm saying is there are often times where men are not held accountable for emotions. Most of the time in relationships, men are checked out until the last minute. And then once they finally check in, she done checked out.
They say man goes through a lot too. They just don't show it.
And why? Why don't they show it?
It goes back to what you said again. When boys are being brought up, they are also taught to be tough, not to cry, to be strong. Those are things that people teach young men. They teach girls or women to be emotional.
But here's the thing. When you have women who finally like take off that tough girl exterior and give you that softer side, then she a crybaby. Then she's spoiled. Then she too emotional. So which one is it's like the moment she is vulnerable,
Right?
she's penalized for being vulnerable because she's so accustomed to her being strong. You even notice that your strong, the strong women that you encounter are oftentimes the people that people check on last. You always assume that she's strong or she got it because she's strong. Oh, she cool. She'll figure it out because she's strong. That's what she do. It's like everybody is so conditioned to thinking she got it that even sometimes in relationships, men kind of overlook the fact that women need that extra support because yeah, she got it, but she don't want to have it. You don't as a woman who always got it. There are times where you want to just really not have it together. And I'm speaking like on from personal experience. If you somebody that know me, you know anytime you ever ask me, are you okay? Even in times where I am completely falling apart inside, my answer is going to be, I will be. Even if I'm not okay, I will be because I don't have a choice but to be okay. What happens if I'm not okay?
Do you think that only happens to women?
I'm saying it happens. I think the emotional part of it happening to women is overlooked, and I'm not saying that men are not overlooked, but I think it's become a role of women more than men. I feel like men don't allow themselves to become emotional or vulnerable.
And why? Why do you think that is?
I feel like it's a trust thing, honestly.
It's
I feel
not
like
trust.
when you are with somebody and we get to a place, if me and you are together and we get to a place of being together, at some point you should trust me enough to be vulnerable with me. You should trust me enough to know that she got my back, or I can be emotional with her, and I can do these things. Like those are, I don't have to have it all together. That's what I'm thriving for. Like I want to be able to be with somebody and I can just simply not be okay. And it be okay.
You have to build to that. But laws of attraction, when you meet a man or a young man, y'all know good and damn well if that man or boy or young man is emotional, y'all gonna kick him to the curb. Y'all ain't even gonna even give him a chance. He crying, he be opening his heart up,
Now, it's one thing to be emotional, and then it's a whole nother thing to be over emotional. Like, damn, you still crying?
Even small. A woman don't want no man that's a wimp or getting pumped out or getting
but you are
playing on his top.
But those are completely different things. Being vulnerable with your person is different from just being a sucker, being a simp in the streets. Like so for me, it's like I don't want no overly aggressive ass, tough ass man who don't know how to be vulnerable with me. I want a man that is going to know when we go outside, I ain't never worried. Because I know if anything ever happened, this man got me. I don't have to look twice. I don't gotta even think about it. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me as long as this man is standing next to me. We good. But the same man can have a horrible day at work and know that I am his safe space. So as soon as I walk through the door, he is able to unleash all of that. Two different things. Definitely not no sucker. Definitely not no simp. But definitely vulnerable enough to know that this is my safe space. And what she not gonna do is make me feel anything less than what I'm feeling right now, because she's going to help me move past this. That's it. I don't think men allow themselves to trust women enough to feel like that.
Trust don't come overnight.
It don't, and I'm not saying that it's supposed to. I'm just saying that it gets that be it though, because they have to be tough. They can't cry, and it's like at some point you have to know that you ain't like it or you don't like it. So stop. Like, do we have to endure traditional roles in households and relationships and shit like that when you got your kids and your son? Are you teaching your son that he ain't supposed to cry? That's the first thing a dad tell their son when they little. Stop crying. What you crying for? Stop crying.
Right.
Why? Because now you're conditioning him to think that he have to have it all together. He's not supposed to feel. He's not supposed to cry. When those you just said, those are things that are not true.
Son not to cry because you don't want him to have thin skin.
But that means cry if you need to cry, and let's figure out how to get past this where you're crying. Okay, you can cry because shit, it hurt, or whatever the feeling is attached to you feeling the need to cry.
What you crying for is a good question. Depends on why he crying.
But who are you to determine if the reason he's crying is valid?
His daddy.
But you can't. Your feelings are valid to you. You can't tell somebody that they shouldn't be crying, because what may hurt you may not hurt him, or what may hurt him may not hurt you.
But that's called parenting.
Parenting
is teaching your kid right from wrong.
No, parenting is supposed to be teaching your kid to be expressive of their, not yours.
That's the difference between white kids and black kids.
No, that's the difference between men and women, mamas and daddies.
I don't know.
That's that
White
because
kids,
mothers, we are nurturers. We want to nurture our them to be able to be. We want to love on them. Y'all want them to be tough.
So you mean to tell me you ain't never seen no white kids in the grocery store cussing out their mamas, and you said, "Oh, that was me. I've been to kick their ass."
That's anybody. Black, white, I don't give a damn. I was a kid.
Why you ain't say, "Oh, he just expressing himself"?
Because being expressive can be it can't be disrespectful though. That's what we teach them. We teach them how to be respectful. You can be expressive respectfully. I was taught that. Huh?
We're just taking it the wrong way.
So that's the thing. Sometimes you have to learn how to use your words. You have to learn how to vocalize what you are trying to say in a way that makes people understand. That is a part of conversation. You have to be able to say things in a way that not only you understand them, but the person you're talking to understand them. That's been articulate. When you can't articulate your thoughts in a way for other people to understand respectfully, then you need to go back to the drawing board. Because at the end of the day, you can have whatever, however you feel, you can have it. But you damn sure better be respectful in the way you say it. Because I'm gonna tell you, as a mother of teenagers, y'all motherfuckers be having me fucked up because it don't be what you say, it's how you say it. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but when you get to man, I don't, then that's gonna get your ass knocked out. That's when you get knocked out. That's when you have us fucked up. It's not you saying, I don't think that this is right, or I feel like you not understanding me. I can't be mad if you feel misunderstood, but I can be mad if you think you're gonna be disrespectful and feeling misunderstood. You're still a kid.
Right.
But you are able to be
a kid that you cannot tell no 6-year-old, no 8-year-old, no 10-year-old to articulate.
Yes, you can start to teach them at those ages to articulate. That's what your words. When they get to crying and having tantrums, use your words. I don't understand that. Use your words. Exactly. Be expressive. Use your words. Temper tantrums do not get results. That's not expressive. That's not it's not effective communication. When your woman start having a tantrum, you go just what you gonna do? You gonna tell her, that don't do nothing for me.
I ain't gonna tell her to articulate.
You ain't gonna give in because she having no tantrum either. So why would you give in to a kid having one? I was at Walmart yesterday, man. I swear to God, I was walking through the aisles. I see this little baby crying. He screamed. When I say he was screaming his head off, and I just looked like, damn. And I'm walking, I still hear he's still crying. I'm walking, he's still crying. I'm in the line now. He's still crying in the middle of the damn store, like that, son. And I'm just like, if this lady I heard her saying like she was looking for her mom, I guess his grandma. Like, where the fuck is she? And And she's like, where did you go? And cussing the lady out because her baby is crying profusely. Like, he would not stop. I was in the line for like 5 minutes. And when I tell y'all this baby cried the whole time I was in line, I wish like hell. Because there is nothing in this store that I am buying that was going to keep me. She was getting loud, like, enough, like screaming enough. But that's it. Like, at what point do you just take the kid out? Or do we just sit there and let them have fucking tantrums? Like, what the hell?